Hi there. In this video I'm going to quickly go over how to build an application. And what exactly is an application? Well, basically it can be a certification or something else like an application for an exam or something to that nature. And what's so great about this builder is that you can provide the ability for a user to apply online for whatever it is. So say it's a certification, you can build what they have to fill in order to become certified. So basically what you would have created before in a PDF, you can create here in a nice way online, so that when a user logs into their account, they can apply for the appropriate certification. And there's a whole lot of other functionality to that yet, as I will show you in other videos. But in this video, I'm going to quickly show you how to create a new application. So under the Applications menu item, Application Builder sub-menu item, you'll get to the application list. And basically this will be the list of applications you have in the system. All of them. Right now there are none. And I'm going to show you how to create a new one. So at the bottom right there's a little plus circle, which you'll find is common throughout the system to create anything new. Anyway, we'll do that. And here you can see this is the basic editor for an application. So I'll go through it all step by step real quick, or as quick as I can. Admin reference title. Basically this is just a name for it. Whatever this is that helps refer to it in the system, because the content and the actual application name can be set up as multilingual. We just need a generic reference title. So let's just create some kind of test certification just to work in this video. So we'll call this test certification. This feature here, expiry period, is where you can set up whether this application expires, or if not, you put a 0. If it does expire, you can put in how many years. Well, for this case, we'll say it expires every 1 year. And this given ID here is basically how you can, or how every certification or application gets its own generated ID. Well, here you can optionally set up what that structure is. And so here at the right hand side you can see how you can set it up. So you put in a number sign and it'll increment a number there. So let's just say the scheme starts with a 1, and then the digits after that increment, and then there's a dash in there, and we put in the year and month. So what that will do is say this is if a user applies for their first certification of this type, they'll get a number that is 1 1 dash, and right now it will be 1712 since it's December 2017. Finally, at the right here, show this description online. If you're using the plugin where it shows or lists all the certifications on your public-facing website, here's how you can control whether it shows there or not. Now, for the content of these applications, this would be multilingual. You can choose what language depending on the languages set up in your system. In this case is only English. Here's where we can set up what the actual application name is per language. So we'll just, for now, do it in English. And this one's actually called test certification. And let's do the abbreviation. This one would be TC. And here you can describe it. And if you have it to show the description online, this is what would show online as well. Which would explain what the certification or application is about. And with this editor you can edit how fancy it is, bold, italics, change colors, do numbering, all kinds of good stuff. But for now, keep it simple. And finally, the most important part about this application here is the actual application builder. So for now we're just going to save this. Great. And let's start building the builder, or the actual application. We'll keep it simple, so we'll do this for time's sake. And another explanation here, these are two tabs. You have the new application builder and a renewal builder. So if this has an expiry period, then this builder that you would create under renewal would be what's used to renew the application, and new application builder is what's used to start this certification application. So basically, to break down, the way the application works is there's sections, and then within a section you have groups of forms, and within a group of forms you have inputs. So let's start out with a section, and you just hit the add section, and then you can see the section right here, and it's called new section. If you want to change the name, just click on the little pencil icon, and a little dialog shows up, and we can rename it. Let's do this as an agreement section. Finally, there's a function here that says a mins only section. Just to quickly explain this, it's a fairly powerful feature, but if you have it selected, basically the user cannot see this section, but when you view their application after they've submitted it, you can use these sections to say mark the application or provide test results from an exam, third-party exam company. You can do all kinds of stuff, but it would be related to each person's application where you can modify and add information, notes, whatever works. In this case, this is not going to be an admins only, so save and close, and you can see here that it renamed it. Now to edit this section, you just click on it and it will open up, and you can see add group of inputs. So we do click on that, and it says new group. Click on the pencil to rename it. In this case, we aren't going to name it, so we'll just leave it blank. And a couple of things here. Is this group repeatable? If you have that checked, basically what that means is that the applicant can repeat the group. So say you provide an education input where they would list all of their schools. So you would want to create a group of forms where you put in the name of the school and say the date of when you went, and then you make that group repeatable, and then the user can repeat that group and add in as many schools that they've been to as they want. In this case, this is not what we'll be using, so we'll just save and close it. These controls here, just to explain what they also do, this little trash can here will delete the section or the group or whatever. You have to double click it just in case you click it by accident. These little caret icons here will move up will reorganize. If you have more than one section or group of forms, you can reorder them in case you did them in the wrong order for some reason. So now with this group of forms, you can add all the inputs related to that section. So you can see that there's an add input here. We'll click on that. And this is where it really gets exciting. So in this dialog here, you can see you can select the type of input. So click on that, and it comes down with a drop down of all kinds of things you can add to it. So let's look at these. We've got paragraph, HTML block, text field, password field, email field. We've got file upload, radio buttons, number range, downloadable file, all kinds of stuff. So right now we're just doing an agreement, so let's just put in that it's a paragraph. Let's do an HTML block. This is where we can do some fancy stuff with how it looks and do some paragraphs and all that kind of stuff. So we'll just be quick with this. Do another paragraph here. And we'll just save and close that. And as you can see, it added it right here. So now that those things are added, you can hover over them, and they each have their own controls where you can modify it, delete it, and all that kind of stuff. Maybe even change what kind of input it is again. So let's just add another input because we want a checkbox. So we find checkboxes. And with this one, here you can also set that any kind of actual input, you can set whether it's required or not. So we'll put yes. Show in line, just either this determines how it's displayed, and the label. We'll name this the labels because we want to agree. So this is yes. We should just do this. help text that just adds some text to the label where it explains what to do or what it's for or whatever. It's just optional. And here with this checkbox, you can set up as many checkboxes in this group as you would like just by hitting add checkbox, or you can remove it with the little delete. Let's label it. This one's just going to be a yes. And here you can choose whether it's selected by default or not. In this case, we don't want that. And finally, with these checkboxes and radios, I believe, you can show an other checkbox where if they select it, they have to enter in what the other is. So in this case, we don't want that, so save and close. And you can see here that you have your nice little checkbox there. So basically, that is a section and group of forms with an agreement here that is all ready to go. You can keep on building and adding sections. Let's just do one more really quickly. Say you want to have the user upload some files in this section that pertain to some proof of something. We would add a file upload input. And what that will do is give the user or applicant the ability to add files to the application just by doing so. They would click on choose file, they'd choose their file, it would upload, and it would be there for the admin to see, for them to see, and yeah. So that's that. We'll hit save here at the bottom right. Make sure you always save your changes. Otherwise, if you leave, it should warn you that you've made changes, and if you leave, you'll lose them, but just be sure to always save it. So anyways, that's a quick overview on how to actually build an application. In another video, we'll go over how a user applies for it, and another video on how to view the applications and manage whether to mark that things need to be fixed and all kinds of stuff. There's a whole lot of features to go over with this, but that is it for now. I really hope that helps. Thanks for watching.